Welcome to class today. Today, we'll be looking at a very vital topic titled Glycemic Index. Introduction. Glycemic Index (GI) measures how rapidly different food elevate blood glucose levels using a numerical scale from 0 to 100. This system helps predict the blood sugar response after consuming carbohydrate-containing food by comparing them to a reference standard, typically pure glucose. Understanding the GI, that is glycemic index. The glycemic index represents a numerical classification system that measures how carbohydrate-containing food influence blood glucose level when consumed individually. Originally developed by Dr. David Jenkins as a tool for ranking carbohydrates specifically for diabetic patients, this system moved beyond the traditional simple versus complex carbohydrate categories. Glycemic index, we have the low GI, that is less than 55, medium glycemic index, that is between 56 and 69, and high glycemic index, that is 70% and above. For grades and stages, we have the rise band, that is 27, as seen in the figure below. As seen in the image below, we have the grains and bitters 27 glycemic index. We have the cold 65 GI. We have the wheat bread, that's 100% glycemic index. We have the grapefruit 25%. We have the watermelon, it has 72% glycemic index. We have the cooked carrot 79 39%, 39. We also have the, for the dairy product, we have the low fat yogurt, that is 14, chocolate milk 35. We have the ice cream 61. We have the peanut 21 for the proteins, the bread, the beans dried 40, the chickpeas 47%, the black eyed beans 59. Glycemic index charts. When it comes to how to calculate glycemic index number, doctors have mentioned only certain food or classes of food. Foods like meat, fat, and oil don't contain carbs. To determine glycemic index numbers, they observe how healthy people's blood sugar levels range after ingesting carb-containing food. By measuring subsequent blood sugar levels and comparing them to a baseline, they can determine where a food falls on a scale of 0 to 100, where 100 represents pure glucose and 0 is a food with no sugar at all. So low glycemic index food with a number that's 55 or less include apples, bananas, barley, carrots, cashews, chickpeas, dark chocolate, eggplant, lemons, lettuce, limes, mangoes, oranges, peanuts, pears, peppers, plain yogurt, strawberries, tomatoes, and whole milk. These are fruits that has low glycemic index with number 55. Medium glycemic index, foods that have range of 56 to 59 on the glycemic index include the brown rice, the kessels, the pineapple, the cossels, the pineapples, popcorn, potato chips, soda, sweet potato. Those are medium glycemic index food which range from 56 to 69 glycemic index. We have high glycemic index food. Food that have a glycemic index number of 70% or more include cereals, cheeseburgers, corn chips, donuts, french fries, fried chicken, mashed potatoes, pizza, pretzels, sport drinks, and white bread. These are foods that contain high glycemic index food with is number is 70 or more. How the GI scale works? The index operates on a 0 to 100 scale where food causing rapid blood sugar elevation receive higher numbers compared to those producing gradual glucose increases. These measurements reflect the speed at which different food are converted to glucose and observed and absorbed into the bloodstream. The glycemic index (GI) is a way to rank carbohydrate containing food on how quickly they cause blood sugar level to rise after eating. It's a scale from 0 to 100, with pure glucose being the reference point at 100. Food with higher GI score lead to a faster and more significant rise in blood sugar compared to those with lower score. Factors affecting GI values. Several factors can influence food's GI, including the type of carbohydrate, the processing method, and the pressure of other substances like fiber and fats. Food processing significantly influence glycemic response. Milling and refining strip strip away the outer layers of grains, removing fiber, vitamins, and minerals, while concentrating the starchy endosperm. This refinement typically increases the food's dry rate. So, a food that is refined, the type factors that affect GI values are food when you consume food that are refined, and when that's gone through series of processing, then the type of carbohydrate being consumed too, and the presence of other substances like fat and fiber. Those are factors that affect the GI values. Low GI food choices. A low glycemic approach emphasizes minimally processed options, including whole grains like oats, barley, and bran, along with brown rice and whole grain breads and pastas. Fresh fruits and vegetables, particularly when consumed whole rather than juice, form important components of this eating pattern. Raw vegetables and salads provide additional fiber and nutrients while maintaining low glycemic impact. Why is GI important? Understanding the GI of food can be helpful for managing blood sugar levels, particularly for people with diabetes, but it can also be beneficial for overall health and wealth management. Example, with white bread such as high GI around 70, while oats have GI lower than 55, around 55. It has lower GI, that's around 50 to 55. This means that eating white bread will cause a faster and more dramatic rise in blood sugar than eating oats. Understanding GI categories. High GI food are quickly digested and absorbed, creating the sharp increase in blood sugar followed by a rapid drop. Low GI food break down more slowly during digestion, producing a gradual and sustained changes in blood glucose level. Health implications. Regular consumption of high GI food may contribute to increased risks of type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, certain malignancies. Conversely, emphasizing low GI food as a part of a balanced life cycle that that includes physical activity and adequate sleep can support health, weight management, and overall wellness. One practical application, the GL enhances the practical utility of GI by incorporating actual serving sizes, offering a more realistic assessment of how typical food portion affect blood sugar level in real-world eating situations. Psychological response and health implication. When blood glucose rises quickly, the body responds by releasing increased amounts of insulin, the hormone responsible for transporting glucose from blood into the cell. For individuals with insulin resistance, repeated blood sugar spike or over extended period may exert pancreatic function, potentially reducing insulin production and elevating diabetes risk. Choosing lower GI food helps prevent this dramatic glucose fluctuation and may support weight management and general health main ten ance. Limitation and misconception. Relying solely on GI value to determine the food healthiness can be misleading. High GI food aren't automatically unhealthy, nor are all GI options necessarily nutritious. Watermelon and full snips rank high on index, while chocolate cake scores lower, illustrating why balanced evaluation matters more than numerical ranking alone. Factors that modify GI value have practical application strategies. Combining food strategically can moderate overall glycemic impact. Pairing with high GI items like baked potatoes with low GI values like broccoli, lean proteins like fish, and healthy fats such as avocado can create more balanced meals. Portion control remains important for high GI foods. Balanced approach. Exclusively choosing low GI food may create nutritionally imbalanced high fat diet. Science. Since GI alone doesn't determine nutritional value, using it as a sole criteria or criterion for food selection isn't recommended for optimal health outcomes. Thank you for listening.